And look how accurately I can hit the Scourge Beast. Look at that, 3 arrows, level 100 Scourge Beast. Hey fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and today I have for you the Green Arrow build. And yes, I'm holding currently the best bow in the game. It's not an accident, it is better than what I can craft, which is Reverse Onslaught Furious Compound Bow would be worse than this unique Lavi legendary bow that drops from Tunnel of Love event. So that's the strongest, and that is the Green Arrow. I know, it's a little bit bright green outfit and so on, but aren't superhero a little bit goofy? They are. They always were. That's the point, so no one can recognize them when they pretend to be a normal people in real life. So let's jump into the build details. And yes, this build can absolutely participate in the raid. Yes, surprise, surprise, bows. So good now that you can even do raid with them. So this is the special distribution before application of legendary perks. Legendary perks, endurance, agility, luck, intelligence for our special, and then follow through taking one for the team. Taking one for the team could have been swapped for something else, but they can both work together, so I prefer to keep them if I want really nice high damage numbers. The perks. Quick disclosure here, you could save easily 5 points if you don't have as many legendary perks, as Charisma can be cut down to 1 and it will be fine. I'm using my extra points to basically test the EMT and all self-revive stuff and trying to figure out if I can make it work consistently. So far I cannot. Sometimes it's working like several times in a row and then suddenly it doesn't. I didn't figure that out yet. Strength. Not as much needed as our other builds. We have 11. This build do not contain Bullet Storm or the Onslaught, as those are not needed and not really compatible with this build. Arm Skipper for carry weight. If you don't have a Followed First, 8 storage, Trawling Pharmacy may be a better choice, as we only need 1 weapon. Blocker for tankiness, Scatter Shot for extra limb damage, Barbarian for tankiness, easy target for extra damage. So those are essentials under strength. Scatter Shot, is that essential? No, you could easily play without it, but it is helping. So that's a good perk. Alternatively, you can switch it for even more carry weight if you need to. The most important category for archers, Perception. Number Cruncher, as we can push the bow AP cost quite high, so extra damage is welcome. Tormentor for extra damage. Awareness, that's very important. Bows are already super accurate with this perk, so often you will see 95% on the weak spot, which is great. I do have even a decent hit chance on Snake Eye, over 60%, and you know how normally hard it is to hit a Snake Eye, so that's great. That's great VATS accuracy. Santa Masochist, it's very important here, because arrows, when they bounce, they almost always hit a torso. So Santa Masochist is helping. Hat Trick, that's what causes arrows to bounce and makes us a real green arrow. Our arrows, by the way, are green too. So yeah, green arrow, arrows are green, intended, and working great. Bow before me for extra armor piercing effect. We are not using one card, which is the Master Archer. Unfortunately, from my testing, it is not as great as it looks on paper. Plus, we would need to swap some good perk for this, which is not so good. It does add quite annoying sound as well to our arrows, which I do not like. So the double negative. Not very useful, and annoying sound being added. Maybe I should move a little bit as my chickens are making other annoying sound. Then we do have Endurance for extra tankiness. Yes, the green arrow in this version is quite tanky. Life Giver, Ironclad, Iron Stomach, Natural Resistance, Fireproof, Star Genes, and Adamantium Skeleton. As you noticed, we do not have extra action points, as we don't need it. Bows are firing slow enough, so I'm not running out of action points. I don't need to increase it any further. One important card on the charisma strength in numbers, and there is a bunch of EMT and bodyguard as a filler. I am sharing EMT normally if I don't forget. And still testing, so I will have more for you if I figure out how to make it work consistently. When it works, it's amazing, but it doesn't want to work every time. Intelligence, we do have first aid here, nerd rage if you want to drop your health and play low health or stat lock at low health. Science for extra damage with our arrows, we are using plasma arrows. And patches included, that actually not helping with arrows at all. That's for my other cores that I'm carrying, mainly the plasma. I should probably drop that at some point, as I'm not even using Gatling plasma at that moment. But here it is, still a bunch of cores I'm carrying. Under agility, gunslinger for more damage. Then ninja for even more sneak damage, now works with bows. Mr. Sandman works with bows, so those two, 200% extra sneak damage, that's quite a bit. Born survival, so we don't die. Sneak, that's needed for the raid if you want to perfectly sneak in raid. Stealth suit and sneak card, escape artist as well for sneaking overall. Gun food to switch our targets. Does it always want to work? But most of the time with bows does work, but not always. Adrenaline for extra damage, and that's agility. And lastly, luck. Only 12 here. I don't feel like I need more. You could consider using more luck if you take away points from charisma. That's a good option too. Ricochet for me, Fall with Clover, Critical Savvy for more criticals, Junk Shield for tankiness, better criticals for more crit damage, and Class Freak to ease up on negative effects of our mutations. And what are the mutations? My mutations are the same on all my builds, but what is good for arrows, I will tell you. So Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, either Carnivore or Herbivore, up to your preference, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, because it does boost Science bonus, so Egghead is good here, Herd Mentality, free special Marsupial Jumping, Scully Skin for extra tankiness, Speed Demon to move faster, and that's it. About the gear. Weapon, there is currently only one weapon you need, and that's called Burning Love. The legendary effect on this bow cannot be modified, so you will need to stick with Assassin, that's hit chance and damage resistance while aiming, which you would argue are not the best, and I agree with you. So why am I saying it is the best bow? That's because, intentionally or not, I don't know that, but with this patch, the Burning Cloud received a huge boost to its base damage in addition to special fire dot. That putting it in front of compound bow. As you can see, 361 to 56 for the compound bow, and the Burning Cloud 561, 398 plus a dot. So even if I put a Furious and equip Reverse Onslaught on this compound bow, it's still doing less damage than Burning Love. If I would add 4-star pinpointers, I would probably be able to almost match the damage of Burning Love, so using any other bow at this moment is pointless. We are running all the time Burning Love. You could have some crossbow and stuff like that if you want, like everything is usable, but Burning Love is absolute number one, so that's our weapon. About the armor, Chinese stealth armor is number one. That's a perfect stealth, especially if you want to use it in the raid. If you want to run low health, unyielding, of course. I'm experimenting as well with life-saving armor to see how well that can go. Still a mixed result, but I am showing you what I'm experimenting with. The stealth suit is basically number one armor. You can almost play everything in it. My armor for raid, Stage 4 and 5, I do have these hunters with some poison resist pieces and some endurance pieces, full set of Sentinel, so I can just stand still and keep firing at Snake Eye. This is really nice, one piece of auto stim on the torso, so if I forgot about stim packs and Born Survival will not be enough, I have additional one to trigger. But Chinese stealth armor, where it is for the most time, the apparel that I'm wearing, that's Green Captain Cosmos, and then I do have Grognak's sidekick mask, that's a green one, and Lookout Hood. So that's what I put together, and that's how I look like if I'm wearing a stealth suit. So in the stealth suit, I'm still kind of a Green Arrow, as I still have a hood and mask. The bow is pink. I know you could apply different skin, but I wanted to kept it as is. Now, what's the combat performance? Let's go for some combat. And if you think about the raid, I was able indeed to solo the Guardian with this build. Not the fastest solo, but I was able to do it. So that's worth to mention. And I didn't bring any arrows. Okay, that's my mistake. And before I fire, one more thing about the bow. Plasma arrows are indeed the most powerful. I was testing other mods. Plasma arrows are doing the highest damage. And in case of this bow, you cannot put aside. But plasma arrows, in addition to being highest damage, they have one of the highest ranges. 433. That makes this bow a real beast. Now, where are enemies hiding? Enemies? I see one. And I hit 2 of them. You were able to see second damage number. That was from the bounce. And look how accurately I can hit the Scourge Beast. Look at that. 3 arrows, level 100 Scourge Beast. Could you ever imagine that archer build, the Green Arrow in Fallout, would be so valuable? And it's not too much enemies. I want to show you the bouncing arrows more. So let's visit maybe some more crowded place. Oh, and in case you would need even more area clearing potential, you could consider like a crossbow with explosive arrows and put explosive arrows as its modification, explosive frame, then explosive effect. And I did put bullies on that. That's for area clearing with exploding bolts. That's quite significant power. You could spec even more for clearing if you would switch Tormentor for Grenadier, so we can do that here and equip a Demolition Expert. That's if you want area clearing. I normally don't need super high area clearing potential, but let's do that for a moment. So I can switch those two, and I'm rarely using that, into Demolition Expert. So that's the modification if you care about area clearing ability of the build. So you can have even more. Look what it does with this combo. I can sneak in here. Don't even need to aim for the head anymore. You see that? Explosions wiping out a horde of ghouls per shot. Not only it's bouncing, but each bounce is exploding again. So I'm getting explosions everywhere. If you want area clearing potential, that's your area clearing potential. A little bit less range on this weapon. That's almost one-shotting to the torso, this bloated, glowing ghoul. Just normally very tanky. Another one. I'm taking some self-inflicted damage from those explosions. Unfortunately, that's a thing. So if you spec fully for explosions, you may hit yourself too. And the bounce of arrows, you never know where they bounce, and the range is great. So the arrows will bounce all over the place, clearing enemies. Sometimes you didn't even notice that are there, but they will get cleared behind the corners and so on. You cannot complain with clearing ability. That's the Westec clear if you spec for some more explosions with this crossbow. The damage now stacked with a kill streak and everything. 1500 damage. This is solid. It's going up now because I lost health, and that is Juggernaut. So more health I have, the more damage. If I quickly heal, yeah, it's going to 1600. It will drop after my kill streak will expire. But yeah, that's if you need some clearing potential. Clearing potential there. I do normally run Burning Glove. It can clear fast enough for me, and I'm not switching. But this crossbow is worth to mention. It's fun. What else can I show you? Maybe a Milo Queen. That's an interesting fight. She's now super tanky. She's a real mini boss. I can aim for the torso for most of those Miloks. Okay, that's hit chances too low. The torso is obstructed. That's problem with Miloks. They seems to deflect my bouncing arrows with the shells. So they have some power over me with those shells. And now about regular Milo Queen, I'm so stealthy that she will not even emerge. So what you do if she doesn't want to emerge, you can toss grenade. And I don't know if this grenade damage is intended or not, but it is quite a lot of poison damage on this grenade. And there she is. So Milo Queen, let's target Spouts, which is the weak spot. And look at that. Fully crippled with a first shot, killed with a second. And that's the Milo Queen. And I killed 2 targets over there. I didn't even realize there were 2. The bouncy arrows, the green arrow build, surprisingly, way more powerful than I would ever anticipate with the burning cloth. And I did not discover that myself. Someone on the live stream told me that burning cloth was buffed, and I decided to try it. And indeed, it is way more powerful than any other bow. If you don't know where Tunnel of Love event is triggering, it's here on Nuka World on Tour. It's on the public event rotation, so we'll look in here under featured public event, and you just wait until Tunnel of Love appears, and you have good chance. I think it's like 33 or 50% chance to get this bow when you complete the event. And it's tradable, so you can buy it from someone else, and you can get it, and you can use it, and you can make your own green arrow to dominate the wasteland. I do plan to do like a challenge raid when we'll find a team of 4 people and only use bows, and let's see how that will go. That's the plan for the future. And that being said, thank you a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the green arrow build. Let me know what you think, and see you in the next one.